We have another great opportunity to catch up with our very own Salem Lions head coach Thompson. Coach, thank you so much for meeting with me this week.
Always a pleasure, Ty. Always a pleasure.
First off, great win against Eastern. Did you know that Coach Humphrey was going to be in attendance from last week's game? If so, how did it feel to have him back on the sidelines, albeit in a car on the opposite side, supporting the Lions?
I did know. He called me. He didn't call me. He texted me about an hour before he left the hospital. Told me he was going to come up and head straight to the game. So I kind of kept. I was supposed to keep it a secret, and when I saw him down there, I was pretty excited to see him, and I knew that it was pretty cool that instead of wanting to go home, he wanted to come to watch us play, and just kind of shows you the person he is.
And coming into the game, there were a lot of signs signaling that the Lions would have trouble beating Eastern. How did your team respond to all that talk?
Yeah, we take some pride in being the underdog, and we kind of like it when people talk about us and say we're not going to do something. You know, we're a bunch of people who people have said that we weren't going to do something, we weren't good enough, weren't big enough, weren't strong enough our whole lives, and from the coaching staff down to the last freshman. And when people, I personally love it when people say that because it usually means we're going to have a pretty good night.
Who on Eastern just seemed to be a pain to control, or just seemed to bully his way into the game?
Yeah, there was a couple of guys. The freshman running back, 35. He was hard for us to tackle. And then number 11 for them. He thought he needed to have a lot of conversations during the game. And unfortunately, our guys kind of fed into that in the first half, and we were worried more about talking and than we were about our fundamentals. And came at halftime. We talked about it, and came out third quarter, and there wasn't much talk on the other side after that.
During the first half, many things went down, one major thing being your center getting tossed. How have you adapted to this change?
Yeah, that was the first time I ever had a player thrown out of a game, and Porter got there probably about 3 seconds too late. He kind of probably his hardest hit he's made all year was on his own player in that game, but it was unfortunate. It's not what I want our team to be about, and it was happened in the middle of the field, and for our center to do that was really out of character for him, and unfortunately it happened. It's a lesson, and hopefully we learn from it as a team. And we've put Jimmy in at center this week, and we're trying to Jimmy hasn't taken a live snap in a game all season, so he's done a great job. And just what we're about is just the next person up. I know that's cliche to say, next man up, but that's how I want our program to be, and so we're just going to fill in the gaps and move on.
After last week's win, what are some improvements your team had to work on this week?
We were sloppy offensively. I mean, actually, we've been kind of sloppy the last 2 weeks. Our defense has been really good the last 2 weeks, and I really challenged our D to step up and play well. And I think we give up 4 first downs against Corden, and I don't think Eastern had very many, maybe a couple. But we weren't very fluid on offense, and if we're going to beat teams like Charlestown, we have to be.
So let's talk about this week's opponent, the 5-2 Charlestown Pirates. This week's game against Charlestown will be a tough fight. After playing 3 teams with a combined 1-16 record, how have your team prepared to play a challenging opponent? The Pirates, by the way, are sailing high on a 5-game win streak and haven't allowed an opponent to score in 2 games.
Yeah, we haven't really, to be honest with you, we haven't really focused on the last 3 weeks on our opponent. We focused on ourselves. We've spent, as coaching staff, we've spent 3 weeks getting ready for Charlestown. I feel like we have a pretty good game plan of what we want to stop, who we have to stop, and where we want to exploit their weaknesses on defense. So, we're ready for them. I think as a coaching staff, we could tell you everything about each player on the team, maybe even when their birth date is and what their favorite color is. But, obviously, the people we've played the last 3 weeks feels like a PLAC schedule, but we're going to hopefully step up and against a good team tonight and see what we got.
And what do the Pirates do well, and are there any players we need to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I mean, they have the number 1 tackle in America, and the Goodwin kid. He's 6'8", 318, something like that. He's massive. Has 61 Division I offers, including Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, you name it. He'll be starting a left tackle for them. Their quarterback's a sophomore, a McClellan kid. He's the leading passer in the Mid-Southern Conference, and he can beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arm. They're tied in, which was their quarterback last year. He's 6'4", basketball kid that can leap out of the gym and can go up and get him balls. So, they're offensively, they're a threat, and defensively, they're a lot like us. They're fast and they're aggressive, and very equal teams Friday night to see what's going to happen.
This will be your second away game on turf. Is there anything you do differently the week to prepare for the surface?
No, not really. I mean, we kind of our field's kind of like asphalt right now too, so we're just kind of it's kind of the same thing. So our guys wear these silly sleeves on their arms because they're afraid to get hurt a little bit on the turf. It really exploits what we have. We're fast, and it makes us a fast team. So I love playing on turf because years past we would be the slower team, but this year, this group of kids we got, we're a bunch of fast kids, and we're excited about playing on turf again, and ruining their senior night. It's always a fun night.
And are there any advantages or disadvantages playing on turf?
I don't think so. I mean, I think the advantage is obviously for us is that all this rain that we've had, or we could have tonight as well, it's not going to affect us at all. Whereas if we were playing up here, it'd be a mud bath, and the advantages for us are, like I said, it's going to help our speed because there's always the quickness of a turf field is not even close to a regular grass field, we're going to be ready to go.
And then, what do you prefer, turf or natural grass?
Yeah, I mean, I would love obviously that we had turf for about 24 hours a couple of years ago, and then we didn't, and then so we were pretty excited about that. So hopefully we get that chance again. I mean, our field, we do everything we can for our field. It's just been a long time where it just needs so much done to it, and personally, I like the fact that we don't have to spend all the time and money, and our custodians don't have to come out there and line the field every night. We can practice out there every day if we had turf, and Charlestown has to walk a couple steps from their locker room to practice every day, and the band's out there, soccer teams out there, baseball, softball. I mean, everybody kind of go out there and use it, and so hopefully we'll get a chance to have that someday here in the future, and if not, we'll just keep plugging away what we got. But Charleston has the nicest facilities in southern Indiana, maybe one of the nicest facilities in Indiana right now, and it's an attraction for people to want to come to your school. And so that's why they've got guys like the Goodwin kid who've moved in to play football there. I highly doubt he wants to move there if the conditions were what they were.
What are the keys to victory?
We're going to play really well. It's one of those things we always talk about. We're going to have to take care of the football. We're going to have to make sure that we don't turn it over. Charlestown prides themselves on stripping the football on the running backs, and then we're going to have to tackle them. If we don't stop the quarterback, it's going to be a long night for us, so hopefully we get an opportunity to tackle him.
Any final thoughts, Coach Thompson?
I just want to mention that we got our report cards out this week, and probably for the first time since I've been here in 20 years, we didn't have guys hiding their report cards in their lockers or tearing them up before they got there. We ended up with we reached our goal of our team GPA, which we set out, which is 3.0, a B average, and we made it with a 3.064, which is as close as you can, but we'll count it. And we had 21 kids with over a 3.5 GPA, and that's I don't know too many football teams that can say that. And we've made it a priority, and people love spinning our wheel if they have bad grades, and it's always fun to see those guys. We had guys that had six Fs and ended with none. So we have all football players eligible to play the rest of the season, and I'm just really tickled with the hard work and effort our guys have put into it.
Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Coach, and we wish you all the best tonight.
I appreciate it, Ty. I hope you continue to try to get your grades up as well.
I have no Fs for the record. The Lions will face off against the Pirates tonight at